start recording. I'm going to share my screen. All right, if everyone just wants to make sure to mute themselves so that we can all hear. Utilize the chat as much as you want. Any questions, go ahead and ask them in there. You can always come off mute and ask me a question as well. But we've got some fun things to do tonight. And I actually did a presentation so I don't get all cluttered. Okay, can you see my screen? Yes, no, my little presentation here. Oh, good. Okay, perfect. All right. Oh, geez, and I started on page 4. What? Okay. Look at it. How beautiful is this? And I have my little mouse thing. Okay. Doing all right. We have a lot to celebrate this month. Like, it is so awesome. We have had our biggest sales day like ever. $220,000 on the customer appreciation bash is insane. Like, so insane. Oops, sorry. I just asked someone to unmute on accident. We are on our way to $500,000 in sales in 1 month, which is so crazy. And we have 38 new artists join us since the first of the month. So excited to have all of you guys here. I hope some of you are on here. Hello, welcome. This is so fun. So crazy. Okay. Now we are going to talk about some of our bombshells who have top sales not only this month, but also from the customer appreciation bash. And please don't hate on my grammar and my capitalization and all that. I literally just threw this together so I wasn't so spacey. But so our top sales and our top sales for our customer appreciation day, of course, Bonnie Smith. We all know Bonnie Smith. Samantha Mall, Jen Emers, Jess May, Lauren You're gonna beat me up because I just messaged Lauren and I asked her how to pronounce her last name because I butcher it all the time. I always pronounce the V. Sweat.
No.
Sweatsna. She sent me a little script on how to say it, and I need to go back. I told her I'm gonna play it while I sleep, so I know how to say her last name. We have Ginny Marimal and Nicole Dodge. So these ladies are our top sales right now for this month. If you guys saw these numbers, you would be blown away. A lot of them in the, I mean, of course, the 40% commission bracket and above. 7 figures in sales, you guys. These girls are complete fire, insanity. So I messaged a couple of them, okay? And I'm like, all right, you guys did like insane sales on customer appreciation day, right? Jen had like over $7,000 in 1 day. And I'm like, all right, tell me what, like, how did you bring that? How did that come around? And first and foremost, you guys, is always consistency. Now, these girls, you are seeing these girls in your stories. Something happened. Oh, I think it died, sweetheart. It's probably the battery's dead. Okay, first and foremost is consistency. Like, you will see these girls pop up in your stories. You will see these girls pop up in, you know, Savvy Slate all the time, in the group chat all the time, showing up in their beauty group all the time. And that is where, I mean, 100% of their business is coming from, is showing up even when things are not great. Like, I can tell you, I was talking with Lauren and we were both having a hard month, and we just were, you know, Lauren is one of the most consistent people here, and we all know how amazing she is. And she was, I mean, it was a struggle earlier this month, right? Can everyone agree with me on that? And this whole customer appreciation in our new shadows was like the breath of fresh air that we needed. And because of that consistency that Lauren and Jen and Bonnie have, and their customers seeing them show up and promote this stuff every single day is what gets them to these numbers. Okay, that is like key, you guys. Even when it feels like no one's watching, when it feels like you're posting to no one, when no one shows up on your live video, I can promise you that people are still watching, they are still there, and they are still waiting for you every single day to show up and be your true and authentic self, and you know, sharing your love for the makeup, but not only that, just bringing out like your passion and all of these things. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent now, but you know what I mean, right? All of these things. Okay, so we are, now I have to bring up my notes from my phone because my computer is over here. All right, so I asked Lauren. She personally Facebook messaged all of her best customers, made sure they were invited to the bash, the eyeshadow bash. They knew about the sales, right? She sent an email out to every single customer. If you guys are not utilizing the app, the Seint app in the email system, it is insane. It is so good. If any of you are previous customers of mine, you probably got an email from me. And if you don't know how to utilize that, it is so easy. We will be getting, there's a training up in the Seint Artists group for how to utilize the app a little bit more. But I sent out an email to 1,700 of my customers in 4 minutes. Like, it is so streamlined and so nice. So Lauren utilizes that. She posted about both things in her group a ton, 3 to 4 days leading up. Bonnie, this is what Bonnie said. Bonnie blew it up, which we all know that. She did a giveaway for participating 5 days prior to, messaged a ton of people, asked hosts if they wanted to create their links, messaged her best customers. Now, do you guys see a pattern with this? Messaging. Everything in your business, yes, it is amazing that we can, you know, get out there and do live videos and get out there and do posts, but a majority of all of these people's business is ran in private messages. Like, that is where you build relationships. That is where you build connections. That is where you are a real person and not just, you know, this graphic behind a post. So getting out there and just really getting in people's messages is huge, 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 you guys. Okay, Jess, this is one of my favorite things from Jess, and she said no graphics. I showed my face, used the eyeshadows, show the brush cleaner in every live video and the tile. And that is also so important. I mean, there were, right, don't get me wrong, there were some beautiful, beautiful pictures going around from the eyeshadow bash and from the customer appreciation bash. But I mean, how many times do even me as a person, like, I see someone's you know, eyeshadow picture and I'm like, man, that's beautiful, but I could never do that. Like, I am not good at eyeshadows. So how many times do you think that people, you know, your customers see that? If we're thinking that, other people are thinking that. And they don't want to see these amazing, perfect eyeshadows every time, right? That's not realistic to them. They want to see real, they want to see 2 colors, they want to see easy. If that is you, if you are amazing with bold colors, they want to see that because that's you and that's something that you're good at and you can give them value in. So we love to see your face. Jess, I mean, I did do graphics, but I can't help myself on Canva. I know. But leading with your face. We always love our pretty graphics, right? But make sure to have your face on there as well. Okay, let's keep going. Where's my little, there we go. Okay. Now, we had an amazing last week, right? We had some great sales. We loved that promotion, but we want to push through these last couple of days of the month. And how are we going to do that? Maybe you hit your goal and you exceeded it. Set a new one. It is not too late to set a new goal, you guys. So the end of the month is on Saturday, the 31st. Now, what can we do in between now and then to get to your goal if you did not hit it or if you want to exceed that goal? So first and foremost, all of you should always keep an eye on this, okay? So this little chart here is showing you how much money you make. And you need to be checking in your back office. Go to your dashboard. And there is a green PSV bubble. That is your exact sales for the month. And you should be doing this like for sure weekly, if not daily, to see where your sales are at and see which sales bracket you are in. Keeping tabs on that not only like pushes you, but it also, you can see where you're at and how much further you need to go. So you're going to compare that number with this little graphic thing. I have a couple people to mute quick. I've got some static going on. Sorry. If you guys can make sure to mute yourself, that static is driving me bonkers. There we go. Okay, so make sure to look in your back office, find your sales bracket, okay, see where you're at. I mean, if you're only like, if you're at $750 and you can sell $50 more to get an extra 5% on your bonus, like how that is totally worth it. So making sure to see where you're at for that, okay? That's everyone's homework tonight, to see where you're at. Now, this is gonna be kind of in between end of the month and starting up into next month, okay? We have coming out of such a high month is so exciting, and we want to keep all of that hype and that consistency and that excitement going. So this is how we're gonna do that, okay? So the follow-up, we had those amazing sales. Oh my gosh, look at that. This is like, did I do that through the whole thing? Consistency. I'm probably driving a lot of you people nuts right now, and I apologize, it's my spelling. Okay, so customer appreciation bash orders, they are getting them in. Please note, if you did not see corporate's message also, that they are a little bit behind, which is totally expected. I mean, they sold an insane amount of makeup, so orders are coming a little bit later. If you, I mean, at all, go in and message those customers and let them know, like, hey, we're working on your order, it's on its way. Like, we had an insane sales day, I appreciate your patience, and I cannot wait for you to get your eyeshadows, right? Someone would totally appreciate that, because I know me, like, if my Amazon order doesn't ship next day, I'm like, what is going on? I'm just irritated. So keeping in contact with them, just letting them know what's going on, if you can, is huge. We are doing a little, so we've been doing our post ideas in Savvy Slate, and we are switching lanes to a little bit now. We are going to be focusing on, you've got your shadows, now what, right? All of these girls bought these beautiful shadows. They got all of these new colors and new brushes, and they might be a little bit lost on how to use them. So these next couple weeks, you guys really focus on how to use these new eyeshadows, you know, mixing them with old colors that they might have. The easiest way to apply them. Go back into our bash and reutilize all of that content that we have in there. There's so much good stuff in there, you guys, and just rebrand it to yourself and reuse that in, you know, your Facebook groups, in your stories, on your personal page, whatever it might be, to keep up that hype about all of these shadows. So watch for those ideas in the group page. And then, like Jess said as well, get your face out there. Show the shadows on you. How many of you got the new shadows? Type it in the chat if you got them. And if you have actually received them yet, if you're using them, I saw a lot of people on stories today get them. So that's so exciting. And I mean, going live on your page, unboxing them, you know, doing swatches on your arm, getting out there and showing people that you are not completely perfect at eyeshadows and being like, let's learn these new shadows together because they're all new, right? And it's all so exciting. So learn with your customers, mess up, take messy action as long as you're showing up and showing them different ways to use them is so, so important. Okay, next up, we have the reorder. So this is getting into end of month and beginning of next month, okay? This is not right. This is not right. My page is so messed up. Okay, those notes are not. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen once so I can fix this. Please hold. How do I get out of this now? Okay. My pages got messed up. I'm so sad. Okay. I swear I'm almost back. All right, I gotta bring my notes back up here. Okay, so now we are going into the end of the month and beginning of next month, right? How can we keep up this hype? So getting back to your reorders, your customers that maybe ordered, like your new customers that are back from like January, right? Maybe November, December, January, February. Go in your back office, go to your orders list, and you can search by month. All right. So go back into those months and see who your new customers were and message them and ask them, be like, yo, I think it's time for you to get a new color match, right? If they haven't ordered their new colors yet, request, just messaging them, be like, it's been a bit. Do you think we need to do a new color match for you? That's a great way to just be like, I was thinking about you, getting in their messages, starting that conversation again, get them thinking about the makeup, okay? So the reorder is our favorite way. Okay, the new customer. Now, follow up with your girls that have been color matched, right? If you are not doing this, I keep a list in my phone of all the girls that have color matched that have not ordered. Okay, so I have a list in there, and I mean, we have them, right? It happens. We color match and then they ghost us. One of my favorite times in this, I've got this from another leader, and it's so like, yeah, is it reach out to them at the end of the month. Now they know when we're in direct sales, right? That's no secret. And it's not, you shouldn't have to keep it a secret. So talking about the end of the month is always super important to us. And just following up with them, be like, hey, Casey, following up with your color match before the end of the month to see if you wanted to get your order placed or if you have any questions for me, okay? Or even the beginning of the month as well. Next, the goal. Now, if you guys have a goal that you're trying to reach, put that out there. I know that it seems really weird, but people love to help, okay? So put a before and after picture and say, I'm 7 tins away from my goal, or my goal for this month is to sell to get 3 new customers, all right? So putting that goal out there so people can see and help. And I know that it sounds a little bit weird, right? But think about it, like who's honestly gonna message you and be like, oh my gosh, Ashley, did you hit your goal? Oh, you didn't? Like, that's not gonna happen. No one's gonna say that. So posting it in that one person that might see it that's been thinking about trying the makeup, it might push them a little bit more, right? Okay, so next we have, now that this is all messed up. Oh, the old classes. This is one of my favorite new things that I have found from one of our leaders, and that is utilizing previous classes. So go into like, you know, if you are working on hitting a goal, or if your month is starting and you want to, get active right away at the beginning of the month. Now, go into your old classes, post about the new eyeshadows, right? Because that is very exciting. They might not have seen that. Maybe they never even ordered from your old or from the previous when the class was. And bringing this information back up into their news feed. And if that pops up, they're going to be like, oh, I forgot about that makeup that actually sells. Maybe it's time for me to try it. But post about the new eyeshadows. This is one of my favorite tactics to use, and that is a blush and bronzer sale. I like to call it a sale because no one knows that it's not always a bundle. And if you say, we have, oh my gosh, you guys, summer tans are here. This blush and bronzer is on sale for $40. You can, you'll get the brush and you'll get your bronzer in one. It's a great starting place, or it's great to add into your, existing routine, or add on to your compact. So talking about that, we have a lot of really good bundles otherwise as well, like with the setting powder. So you can totally talk about them as sales as well. And even though, they're bundles. So that's a fun one. Okay, I think now I am back on track now that my slides got all messed up. Okay, now we are going to talk about next month and how we are going to keep our businesses rolling. Okay, so I want everyone to type in the chat one thing that scares you most to do in your business. What is one thing that scares you that you're like, man, I don't want to do that, or man, I'm nervous to do this, or I should do this more? Take a couple minutes and think about it. While I catch my breath. That's where my last, okay, well, you guys are typing in there. My last slide. Here it is. I found it. The live video, you guys. So the fastest and easiest way to bring an income in this business is live video. Demoing the makeup, putting it on, talking about it to your biggest audience. And this is probably where a lot of people it might be one of your fears or something holding you back. And that is going live on your personal page. Like, I have not done a live video on my personal page in a long time. And I was at the gym this morning, and I'm on the treadmill. I'm making notes for this meeting, right? I'm typing everything up. I'm getting ideas from different leaders. I am masterminding with people, and everyone says, live video is the best way and get to your biggest audience. I'm like, man, where's my biggest audience? Like, yeah, I have a great following on Instagram, but it's not my biggest audience. Where are most of my live videos? Most of my live videos are in my beauty group, my comfort place. And I'm like, thinking about where my biggest audience is, and that is on my personal Facebook page. So that is why I went home today, and I stole my son, because it makes me feel super nervous and super scared to go live on my personal page, because that is where like all of these people come together. Stacy was saying this. She's like, you have like your high school friends, you have your family, you have your previous coworkers, you have all of these people that are in this space that make you nervous to go in there and do, be vulnerable and share about something that you're working with. And she's like, what happens if you do that? What happens if you go live on your personal page and someone sees you doing your makeup, and they're like, oh, I had no idea that Amy does Saint makeup. Like, what the heck? Why didn't I know that? What is this all about? Like, that's literally the worst thing that could happen is someone sees you and they want to try it. So I freaking loved that and totally pushed me to get out of my comfort zone and go live on my Facebook page. And it was fine. No one hated me. And yes, my brushes have gone completely trashed, but I was okay. All right, let's see some of these fears. Eyeshadow looks. I freaking feel you. Being aggressive or feeling too pushy. In-person color matches. Tara, in-person color matches are so much fun. And they seriously, Jen is like the queen of in-person color matches. And she gets the sale every time. And it's usually like a triple decker compact. But that's because getting the makeup on people's faces and letting them see this in person is huge. And you know what? You don't have to be a professional at this. Like, heck, I am not a professional at doing other people's makeup, but showing them, the ins and outs of how to apply it and even letting them apply it and talking them through it makes it even easier. Like, that is a really, really fun way to do it. Just pretend you're doing a live video and they're just in person with you doing their makeup. So I know, but it's so fun. All right, I need to get back on here. Asking people to host parties. I'm Stacy. I'm calling you out. Can you come off mute? If not, that's fine. So that's a hard one because oh, did you come off mute?
Yes, I'm off mute.
All right, what scares you about asking people to host?
I don't know. I just have like a hard time like reaching out to customers because I always feel like what if they tell me something that I'm afraid to hear? So then I'm like, well, maybe I'm just not gonna ask at all.
Like, what if they say no?
Yeah, what if they say no? Or like sometimes even just asking them specifically even how their makeup's going. I'm not always the best at that. I'm better at it with my customers that buy a lot, but the ones that maybe have done one order, sometimes I'm like, gosh, what if like when I'm going to reach out to them about asking how their makeup's going, I get a little scared to do that because I'm like, well, what if they tell me they hate it? And I don't know, then what's going to be my response? And I don't know, I'm one of these people that really internalize myself and I kind of beat the crap out of myself. So I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, it does. Kind of like overthinking the response that they haven't even
yes.
said yet.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
that's
So then go ahead.
So then you're just kind of just stuck and not sure. Now, but the cool thing about the personal message is you're not like totally put on the spot, right? So yes, they're going to respond if you go back to those people that you haven't been in touch with in a while and you ask them how their makeup is going. So they're going to respond and you've got that message. You can always swipe right and put on red if you're not sure what to say. And then you can come into the group chat and ask us like, oh my God, this girl doesn't like her makeup. Like, what do I say? And I feel like asking questions and getting a little bit more on their level and figuring out the root of why is super important. And then they're going to feel like they are more of like a person to you, right? That versus a sales. And then you're opening up that relationship with them and just making it a little bit more comfortable and not so, sales like you're your friend.
And that is, a good point, Brittany. And I will definitely, yeah, because we do have to push ourselves out of our comfort zone, even though it gives me like extreme anxiety, because that's kind of one of my biggest fears, I think, is being not being accepted. So sometimes it's just easier to not reach out because then I don't have to know, So I do need to write that down as a goal, just to make myself do the things that make you uncomfortable, because then the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yes. Mhm. Like
But
everyone
Stacey, think about
started.
it. If you never would, if some, I don't remember who your mentor is,
Jen.
but like if that girl would have never asked you, like, then you wouldn't have all this that you have now. So think about it that like you're just sharing. You're just
I
like
know,
that
and
never crosses my mind. I'm just like, God, if Brittany never would have shared this, like asked me, I wouldn't have been able to quit my job and be home with my kids. Like, so think about it like by you asking somebody like what that could do for them in the future. Like think big picture.
I know, and I need to think about it that way. And thanks for mentioning that, because instead of always reflecting it back on myself, I think that's what I do. I just internalize things a lot. And so I'm older than all of you beautiful ladies. And so, we kind of I grew up in an era that you don't talk about these things. You don't mention what you make. And it was kind of drilled into you. And so, it's just breaking those walls down is what I'm trying to do, so, I'm definitely a work in progress, but yes, you're right. Jen is my mentor, and I'm so grateful that uh, she asked me to be an artist, that I had a party and it was great. And I'm so blessed, and it is a wonderful opportunity. And I need to think about it more like that instead of the other way of them saying, me thinking that, what if they say no to me?
Mhm. Exactly.
Yeah, and
And
then
that's
another
like,
thing to remember, because maybe there's a girl out there that does want to host a class. She's not going to ask you. So you
Yeah.
have to ask her. You have to be the one that's brave enough to say that, because I can guarantee you there's somebody out there that doesn't have the money to buy the makeup, but they would love to host a class and earn it for free, or they want to host a class, they just don't know what it's all about.
So
Sorry,
true. So good. No, good things. And I definitely am taking notes on all that and putting, implementing them. I'm just maybe a little slow, but yes. So I appreciate all that. Yeah, for sure.
that seems to be a hot topic. I'm scrolling through here, and just like the personal message in general and asking people to host a class. Like Bonnie said, there's so many people out there that they won't comment on your post. They're not gonna message you personally. Does it happen? Yes, but for a majority of the girls that are on those that are getting these classes, it's coming from reaching out and asking. And the worst that can happen is they say no, and guess what, all I say is no worries, I'm so glad that you're loving your makeup. And yes, does it hurt a little bit when you hear that? It's like, oh, that's a no, but that's okay, because you have to go through so many no's to get a couple yeses. And just know that it's not you personally. It's not just, that doesn't just happen to you. It happens to everyone. All right. Anyone else got anything they want to talk about? I love doing these like little open mic things. These are so fun. Classes are easier for me than reaching out about the artist program. That's, I feel like, yes. Okay. So I feel like this is like the best time right now, and it's the easiest time if you are wanting to build your team to reach out about the artist program, because there is an incentive and we never have incentives. So if there is a time for you to shine in talking about the artist program, like this is it. Because if that $65 voucher doesn't excite you, if the free Onyx brush doesn't get you excited to share this with people, then it's like something that can push you even more in talking about it. Because look at that promo that we did for a free brush tile or a free brush cleaning spray. Look at how much hype that got. Like if there's people that are sitting on the fence about the artist program and you're not talking about it and you're not asking them, I can tell you guys, I love that Jen told me this, because it made me realize so much more. That she's like, I was so like, she was offended that I didn't reach out to her asking her if she wanted to be an artist. And now when I see people that I think are a really good fit for this, I think about that. Like I think about the disservice that you're doing by not asking them. Like Bonnie said, how this can change someone's life, like it has done for so many of us, that by not asking them, you are, closing a door for not only you, but also for them. And it's as simple as asking them, like, have you ever thought about the artist program, right? That is not icky at all. I had a girl in my beauty group that I messaged a couple weeks ago, and I said, I think you would be really good at this. Is it something you ever thought about? And she was like so flattered. She just thought it was the nicest thing ever. And majority of people are. If you have that relationship with your customers, they see you showing up, they see you being consistent, they know, like, and trust you. By you messaging them, they're not going to feel it as gross. Like, they know you as a person, and they're just going to be like, oh, I never thought about it, or maybe I should think about it, or not right now. We have all the different things that they can say. And that's where you come back to your mentor if you feel like you need a little bit more suggestions on responses that you get, or if you need a little bit different verbiage, anything like that. Danielle, oh, you guys got the chat going on over here. Message them again. Yeah, Jen, he hot around for months. Oh gosh. All right, anyone else want to open mic question? Take yourself off mute. No? Now everyone just stopped in the chat. We're golden. All right, you guys. Oh,
One quick thing. So if you guys are scared about sharing the opportunity, do like a countdown. There's 5 days left of our $65 voucher thing. This morning I put in my stories, like, I know everybody clicks through them super fast when it's just crap about the opportunity because people don't care. But when they, like, a couple of girls seen that it said 6 days left, and I bet you I got 5 messages today that were like, 5 days or 6 days left of what? Like, what are you talking about? What is this? Like, they were like, what's going on with Saint right now? So that's a good way you could do it, where every day you're like 5 days left, 4 days left, 3 days left. People are going to ask what's going on.
yeah, that's good. I love that. That urgency, because people are going to wait till the last day and they're going to be like, oh, shoot. Should I do this or no? So I feel like the last day of the sign up is going to be like one of like the most crucial days. Yes, I love that countdown idea. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate all of you being here, and I love doing this with you guys, learning, growing, and improving, and just leaning on each other and looking for guidance and ideas. It's just so much fun. So thank you so much. And I did record this. I'll post it in the group in a little bit. So have a great night, you guys. Bye.